Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Vanessa's podcast. It is August 14 and I just turned 40. Yes, that's it. It happened. I am finally 40 and I do not belong in the 30s anymore. So it is a weird phase. It just feels so unreal. And I'm sure out there, a lot of you came to that, felt the same way. It's just really weird because I knew I was getting close to it. When I turned 38, I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. I'm gonna be 40 soon. And then just a year went by and I was like, it's fine. I'm not 40 yet. Doesn't really matter. And it doesn't really. It's just a number. I think we are as young as we think and as we act. And our body is the only, thing that it gets older, and of course, wisdom and the experience and we, acquire over the years. So, let's do an episode today on self-appreciation and try to find out the things that you have done for yourself, for others, for your mood, your well-being in general, and appreciate those things, those tiny little things that you have done. And just take a minute to just breathe and take it all in and just appreciate every single moment in your life that you have had good times, that you have love yourself, that you have shown unconditional love to yourself. Appreciate the love that you have received over the years. Appreciate all of those wonderful gifts that you receive every single day. And mainly appreciate just being you and being on planet Earth. So anyway, today I, apart from self-appreciation, I'm going to do some self-reflection and try to help you and guide you on being the best that you can be for your future success, but also in your career and in business, in in all the great things and you are gonna experience in the future, and make sure that everything turn out the best way possible for you out there. So if you're new and you have never listened to this, thank you for coming by and listening and taking the time to like and share. I always love new audience, members, fans. It's always great to know who you are out there. If you have questions, there's an episode you want me to do, let me know. Don't hesitate to reach me. You can find me on my website, the Creative Art 16 business that site. You can send me an email at thebush103gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, under Bush Vanessa. That's usually the place of business. If you want to co-partner, if you want to just share some of your business knowledge with me so I can help you out along with my company, and we can help each other. So you can find me on Twitter, and so there's so many places you be able to reach me, and also on Facebook. And just ask and just don't hesitate. I'm here for you, to help you and guide you in your self-appreciation and self-reflection journey, and create the beautiful outcome that you may want in the future. So let me tell you a little bit about my last few months since the summer. I have done so much. I have moved to so many places. When I say moved, I mean I drove and visited new places, and it has been a blast. I've learned to live in the present more. I've learned to do the things that I want to do now and not later. I've learned that life is short. It's always going to be shorter than we think. We never know when the time is, you know, uh, gonna be the end for you. You just don't know. So you really, with COVID-19 and all of this stuff going on, it really opened up your psyche for a lot of us out there. And then, it tells you when it's time to make things happen, and it's time to say yes. It's time to say yes to yourself. It's time to say yes to your future. So if you're out there and you've been procrastinated for so long about things, and you gotta stop right now. Right now, you gotta stop doing that, and you gotta ask yourself, why am I doing that? The one thing that I learned, and is the one thing that we are scared to do, the one thing that stresses us out the most, is the one thing that we need to pay attention to. Why? Because it's the one thing that is blocking us from the other side of freedom and liberty and joy, and creating that dream life and you want. So you want to cross over, you're gonna have to face your fear, you're gonna have to face the stressful situation, and you're gonna have to face embarrassing moments. You're gonna have to do everything afraid, if that's what you have to do. But you also have to remember that the main obstacles are just here to scare you, but they just it's just temporary, which means that the biggest and the hardest challenge when you're gonna have, they are gonna be hard, but once you pass them, then you're done. You're never gonna have to go through that again. So it's really important to know when there's an exit door opportunity out there. It's not always going to be hard. Life doesn't have to be hard, like a lot of people think. Life doesn't have to be in a direction of pain and suffering. Life doesn't have to be about fear all the time. It does not have to be. So there's a few different type of life out there. You can choose to be depressed and lonely for the rest of your days because all those tragedies occur in your life. You can decide to be miserable and suffering because you have been abused and mistreated. You can decide to have the best and happiest life ever and overcome all your fear and your obstacles. Or you can decide to be stagnant and just be scared and not do anything and not make any decision, like a lot of people do sometimes. And you can decide to also be comfortable and at ease and somehow find some kind of peace in small little box and not do anything because you're afraid that things gonna change drastically and they're gonna be scary and they're gonna be too different and gonna be too weird for you to adjust to that change. It's up to you. You have to decide which is going to be the life pathway that is going to be the best for you. It's going to enhance you life expectation to the most greatest and fantastic and delirious and hilarious ways possible. So it's good to think about those things and have an open mind about things. So the first things you want to do is self-appreciate. So how do you self-appreciate more besides just compliment yourself or just take a second to say thanks for things that you have done on a daily basis, let's say. How do you do that? The one good thing I like to do is go back in the past and remember the greatest things that you have achieved, the things that you knew were really hard, but you have done, committed to it, and went all the way through with it. So those are good things that you should be proud of and you should appreciate yourself for, that the time and effort. Other things is the things that you have done for others, the time that you have spent to help somebody else, somebody that could be close, somebody that you didn't know, somebody that needed your help. So you could be proud of yourself for those things. So always applaud yourself for those extra effort that you make, that towards the step of, helping, changing, or just improving. It's very important to not forget. We seem to always want to beat ourselves more than we want to compliment ourselves. Of course, it's not what we project and say on the outside, but on the inside. So in the inside, our inner critic can be very critical and can be very rude and very cruel at times. So one little mistakes and we are going to be self-blame and self-picking and just get confused and just start stressing and just with anxiety, all of these things over one or two mistakes. So that's the number one thing, is somehow our brain always wants to go there, but doesn't want to focus on all the good things. So when that happens to you, the one thing you want to do is trying to focus on all the other good things that you have done instead of one or two mistakes that you have done. Second, don't punish yourself, because as many people say, we are human and we make mistakes, so that's totally normal. So if you have been abused mentally, physically, emotionally, all of this, it's deflecting things that we do unaware of doing it. We self-sabotage and we self-blame because we have been abused, or we have been told that we're making a lot of mistakes and we're not good enough. So it's something that sometimes for people who have been abused for many years, who seem to automatically have a reflex to do so. So if it's you out there, if this is speaking to you in so many words, then whenever it comes to your mind, the self-critic, it's hard to always catch it on time, but if you are self-aware, you should be able to stop it. So it's very important. A lot of people don't do that exercise. You have to slow down the mind to be able to catch those inner critics. So if your mind is not slowing down, there's too many chaotic events happening in your brain and too much overwhelming thoughts and conversation, you're not going to be able to catch those inner critic battles when they're happening. But if you are calming your mind by mindfulness, meditation, just relaxing, take the time to just breathe and just think of nothing, just clear your brain entirely, then you will be able to catch those when they happen. So let's say you just ate something you should have ate. So there's going to be a tiny little bit delay, and then you're gonna start thinking, I should have done this, and why did I do that? Am I so stupid? Why can't I control myself? So all of those thoughts are gonna come to your brain.